My name is Carlin. Welcome to my channel. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Things you see me doing in my videos are probably not the best way you could do things. Sometimes I know better. Sometimes I will eventually learn about a better way. I don't go out of my way to be dangerous though. So if you see something, go ahead and mention it in the comments. I really do like the following sayings, even though they probably are cliche. Do what you can with what you have where you are. And from the military mindset, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Or more recently, something I've been using a lot, fabricate or die. With all that said, the following video is a record of how I did something. You probably can do better. It's not my job to be here telling you how to do something, okay? You have been warned. On with the show.
Okay, I have a bunch of these 2-inch ball valves. They're really stiff, so I wanted to make a valve wrench. First I cut a slot in some 2-inch PVC pipe, and it does fit, but the valve is so tight it feels like it's going to break the pipe.
The problem is you hear that cracking, and the valve didn't move at all.
The valves are very well made and kind of expensive. They turn from about here to here, so like 90 degrees. And typically they're buried down at ground level. I'm at the point where I want to get rid of the holes and make a little box for the valves and a box cover like this. Easy to get in and open the valve. Okay, showing off my art skills. Could just make a single set of forks or probably a double set of forks. I don't want to use wood, I think that would split.
What I've got available is a whole bunch of these bus seat parts. And I say that as if it's basically one word, but out of the school bus that I've got a bunch of these metal frames that were the seats from the bus. Okay.
The U-channel isn't very strong. It can be twisted, but the box section is pretty strong.
You know, and unfortunately the longest pieces are U-channel. And you can grab the end and twist them a little bit. They aren't strong in that direction. So if I keep this super simple, what if I take a piece of box? Maybe I could just make one set of squares and that's it. The other option is to go ahead and finish it. Maybe do a square tube across between the two. It has to be minimum 1/2 inch, but if it's a little bit bigger, that would still be okay. These are here. They're sticking down far enough. This is one walking tetanus shot right here. Everybody else is worried about coronavirus. I'm going to die of lockjaw or something here. Plenty of power, so I just switched over to the other inverter, which technically has a lower spec. Let's just see what it does. That's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, so that worked. Go figure, right? So now, it's full of sand. Yeah, perfect. I got that close. It's been so long since I got to play with any of the welding stuff, I completely forgot I even had some of this. So yay for that. So I got a bunch of clamps. I'm pretty sure these either came from Harbor Freight, possibly even Walmart. Right? I think these were, yeah, Pittsburgh. I think that was Harbor Freight also. I don't know if those are big enough for what I need. So if I look at my carefully drawn diagram here, but I'm thinking, now these still got all the sharps on them. I'm not going to take that off yet. My mode right now is, I'm calling it fabricate or die.
There are a lot of projects it would just be easier to go buy something. But if I drive into town to buy something, it's about $30 worth of gas and 2 hours of driving each way. So the day is just shot. And the cost of getting there is more than the part was.
If I take my 1/2 inch block, lay it in here, set these on top, that'll give me the offset I was looking for. Alright, from now on we're going to be wearing proper safety glasses. I was like, where are the parts? These are probably a safety hazard, right? Don't get loose things caught in the grinding wheel. I'll just leave it at that.
Flap disc from Harbor Freight. This is 60 grit sandpaper on a grinding wheel center. It works good for removing the paint. Okay, switch is off. I like to check that the wheel lock is not engaged on the grinder before I turn it on the first time. Then check the switch. They can lock, so make sure it isn't stuck. And we're ready. First I'll smooth off the edges with the grinding wheel. There were a lot of sharp edges from cutting.
Alright, hopefully that's obviously different.
Nice and shiny. Rust or paint will contaminate the weld.
Pieces are prepped. This is the wrench end. The shiny side will be handle, so try to remember that. And I've left one side painted and took the paint off the other three sides. That'll give me lots of surface to weld on, and I don't care about the outside. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Alright. Clutch welder, MiG 140 SI, inverter powered, Northern Tools. For what I'm doing, 140 is totally fine, and I don't need TIG right now anyway, so this is good. I'm going to keep saying this, I'm not a professional welder, this is just a hack job, alright? Okay, I'm going to say that's working. You know what? This would work a lot better if I actually moved the grounding clamp. There we go.
Pros and cons. The bus seat metal is free, but I do spend a lot of time cleaning it up. But if I can use solar for grinding, at least I'm not wasting generator fuel. I have time and not as much money right now.
Yeah, if you're used to shielding gas with MIG, this is going to look really dirty. But, you know, because of the flux, right? Alright, that was a good bead.
Alright, honestly, that's the most fun I've had in a long time. One of the reasons I wanted to move out to the desert in the first place is so I could do things like welding and making noise. Sure, you don't have to live in the desert to do this, but welding in the apartment was really frowned upon. This is why we need the valve wrench and the valve boxes. The sand fills the holes around the valves pretty bad. I've wanted to build a wrench and valve boxes for a couple of years now.
Because like the other idea, you got to get right down into here, and you don't really have enough leverage. I mean, that's how I've been doing it, but
I really wanted to build the wrench
Yeah,
first
it's
before
way
I made
better.
the valve boxes, just to be sure I had enough room. I've been using these leftover cans, this won't fit, right? This space in here is about 1 inch because the square tubing is 1 inch, so I just use it like that. In the beginning, it's not how good you are with the welder, but how good you are with the grinder. And yeah, eyes on. I really hate using rattle cans. I used to be an aircraft painter, so this really does bother me. But again, using what I have, right? Shiny! Close enough. Moving on. Okay, next let's make some boxes. I need 5 valve boxes for the 2-inch ball valves on the manifold system. Looking around in the scrap pile, I find 5 pieces of OSB that are all 16 by 18 inches. So if I cut those in half each way, I'll end up with 8-inch by 9-inch pieces and 5 sets. That's perfect. I'll do some corner glue blocks and assemble with brads. We'll figure out the top lid later. The bottom is left open, and these will be backfilled and level with the ground. Let's get on with it already. This is a project that I should have done 2 years ago, so I'm really looking forward to this being finished. Cool, off we go. So it turns out these are all the same size, offcuts, 18 by 16. I've been dragging out my scraps so I can find things easier. How much of each thing do I have available?
this one is done. Number 2, this one, and I'll say number 1 goes to that tank, number whatever goes to that tank. I'm not going to number them, I just was starting that. This is the one that goes to there. Did some Zen raking. And there's one here that I never dug out, so for now, if I'm not going to use it, I'm leaving them buried. So there's one here and one there that the valve is there, but I'm not using it yet, so I'll leave it alone. These 2 were exposed, so I figured I'd cover them up. So they're done. That one goes to the tank. This is the one that'll eventually go out to the hole. Yeah, check this out, all these. I was feeling bad. I kept burying these things. There's a bunch of them that were down in the hole, and I'm like, well, shit, right? Then again, they might just grow anyway, so let's see. They'll just have really good roots when they get up here. But that's just awesome. It's like they are everywhere. And then right next to them, there's some little yellow ones that are also out. So you get the little yellows and the little purples are just everywhere right now. Yeah, that's just kind of fun. Wildflowers, I didn't do nothing for them. Little yellow one over there. And then pretty soon the cactuses will bloom. That's going to be a month or 2 yet. It's just fun. But yeah, this is a project that's been bugging me for years, literally years. Now it's done. The other next thing, I've got 3 risers. The 4th one was the one that went to that. So these are PVC pipes coming up. I had been wrapping cardboard boxes around them just to keep the sun off. And then the boxes blew away, I think. Yeah. Anyway. In addition to the 2 workbenches, because they ended up being too small, I realized that this is perfect. Because I'm just thinking this is like, an eyesore or an annoying flat surface, that's just sitting here. And then all of a sudden I started looking at it and I'm like, that's a workbench. Hadn't planned on that. So, yeah, how about that? So these are all made off of offcuts that was left over for something else. That was the biggest thing. This is the kind of project I am not wasting a full sheet to cut it up into little tiny pieces. So later on, I can come back and spend a little bit more time. It's like I got to dig into that. I'm pretty sure there's a valve in there somewhere. There's got to be one. There's got to be a valve that goes to the house. Okay. All right, that's it for now. This has been a project many years in the making, finally finished, and it's done. And bonus points because I got flowers that grow everywhere. I feel bad for people that have to plant their flowers. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks to all the Patreons, and stay tuned for the next one. Peace out. Catch you later.